So, when we are born in this body, what connects us to our karma? Is that the mind or the soul or a combination?
We are not born in a body, we create a body, make a body by taking food. So, where are the impressions? So don't think of the body as a box in which there are impressions. Impressions are in the desire which, or you can say the subtle body which migrates from subtle to gross, which keeps the impressions. So one has to think of the invisible level or the unmanifested level where the impressions are. And then they start manifesting through this gross mind-body complex.
And then where's the soul in all of that?
The soul, as it is understood in Christianity, is almost synonymous with the mind. But in Indian psychology, the Atman, as it is called, is the background, universal background. There is no individual soul as such. But when the subtle body identifies itself with the gross body, it acquires a kind of separation which is called the jiva or the individual. But pure consciousness as such, which is the essence of Atman also, does not reside in space and time. Space and time are within it.
Right. Okay.
It is not within space and time. The witness is not within space and time.
Right. We're within
Space and time reside within the witness.
Okay.
Or you can say those are the first projections of the witness. And then the witness that we know is something that is like a light which is reflected in the first evolute, which is called buddhi, like a mirror. And then from there it filters through all the levels to the level of the object.
And then how do we relate the Atman to the Brahman?
Atman and Brahman are exactly the same. There is no separation. But the individual, when the light, reflected light, starts flowing through the psychophysical system, it can be called related to the source through the reflection. But there is no separate Atman. As pure consciousness, there is just oneness, and when the desire to separate becomes predominant in these reflected points of light, which we are, then we try to make a psychophysical system in order to experience joy and sorrow.
So it's interesting, it seems so easy for us to gravitate toward the grosser level and have this desire to end up there and sort of forget about returning.
Yeah, the desire to enjoy is
Big.
one needs to trace it within oneself. Why is it so deep? What is it that it is I'm trying to enjoy? Or is it that hidden behind the desire to enjoy there is the desire to become free, which is what Advaita Vedanta says, that the desire to become free from the ignorance of separation is the deepest desire. But we have to recognize it.
So it's easy to confuse with your...
Oh,
with the
easy?
senses.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's also interesting because there are a lot of spiritualists, but they try to move people.
Spiritualists.
Well, people who profess doctrines and what have you, looking like they're going someplace, but it's really convoluted. Like hell and
I don't know what you
brimstone.
mean by spiritualists, but I know that there are
Ministers.
no. I would say that yes, it is definitely possible to separate the subtle body from the gross body, which is evident by various various ways in which clinically dead people seem to be separated from the gross body, and they are capable of seeing and hearing what is happening to this apparent body. So that means separation is possible even while alive. So I don't know whether spiritualists take you there or not. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No. But the separation from the body is possible. Separation from the subtle body is also possible, which we have directly every night. We separate.
One time I read an article called Garva Upanishad in Hinduism magazine, Mataji. And it's about a jiva was trying to tell itself, I'm going to the womb of a woman again. And I've gone through this so many times. And this time I'm going to, when I take a birth, I'm going to do my best to come out of this cycle. And then, and this jiva doesn't want to be born. There's a great desire to be free. But remember that we all read it. And then after the birth,
It
opens
forgets.
his eyes, the light, forgets everything.
Yeah. We do not know that a psychophysical system is necessary even at the last level, so that I can be free while in the body. That's absolutely necessary. So that is why human birth is so precious, in order to learn, in order to experience, and finally to realize that I want to be free consciously, but while in the waking state.
Wow.
Can you talk a little about aparakshanubhuti?
Pardon?
Aparakshanubhuti. I'm not sure.
Aparoksha anubhuti. All our experiences are indirect. If you understand this,
Yeah.
there's no direct way of coming to any experience. We have to use a gadget. We have to use various mirrors. So there is no direct experience as such. But because we have no comparison, nothing to compare it with, we call this the direct experience. But you analyze it and you realize that there is no direct experience. Direct experience is called aparokshanubhuti by Shankaracharya, which happens only when you realize yourself as light, light of pure consciousness. That is called aparokshanubhuti. Aparoksha means, it's a new word coined by Shankaracharya, who says that because he's trying to analyze and show us how we take the so-called indirect experience as direct. If we realize that it is not direct, that is why we are dissatisfied, we would move towards this direct experience, which is pure light. I'm using the word light because there's no other word. You can say when I realize myself as pure consciousness. Just now we can realize ourselves as points of consciousness. We can separate, but it takes some separation from the content of light. I am light and I have content. the content is, as you read yesterday, my ideas, feelings, experiences, memories, emotions. Those are the contents of this point of light, which I am. So with practice, one can, to some extent, experience oneself as light, full of various, you can say dust or whatever, content of consciousness, objects, or the memory of the objects. And to separate that, we can see that we are separate from the content, and then it is up to us whether we want to move further in or not.
Is that why it's important to drop the stories?
Pardon?
Is that why it's important to drop the stories?
Well, what is the content of the consciousness? Nothing but stories. What is a story? A story is various events joined together by the thread of memory, nothing else. So we keep that, repeating it, making it deeper and deeper, because we believe that that is my identity. So to drop the story means to drop the content of light, which has to be necessary if I have to separate myself as pure light. Otherwise it's always mixed. And this mixed light and darkness, you can call it, or light and shadows, you can call it, or light and memories, you can call it, by various ways. But one needs to look within to see that yes, that is the truth. Without my light, there can be no experience, my awareness. So awareness, rather than being aware of awareness, we are aware of experiences, or the impressions of experiences. So those experiences seem solid in comparison to the light. And just as, take examples, just now the sun is shining, but I am not looking at the sun. I am looking at the objects which are lit up by the sun. Somehow we have this deep desire to look at forms and give names. This is the story. And join them together, it becomes a kind of a film. And I like this movement of events, because that is what keeps me involved. In order to want to be uninvolved, I need to understand that this movement is given by my own space and time. It isn't as if it is coming from outside. Outside, the world is like a postcard picture. But I give it movement. It's very hard to separate that or understand how I give it movement. But you watch your own mind and see how it moves from moment to moment. And that moment to moment, then try to see how a film is sort of projected on the screen, moment to moment. Isn't that so? So that movement is what makes it real, seem real. Even a film becomes real because of the movement. If there are simple images, separated images, they are not very interesting. So what do? You start moving them against the light. The light is behind. You start moving them according to a particular speed, which corresponds to my way of understanding the light and its movement. It cannot be very fast, it will make no impression. It cannot be too slow, then also it's not interesting. So it has to correspond to my band of light and my way of looking at things. So that is what we do with our own memories also. We link them together through this movement. The movement is not visible to us because we don't pay attention, but we can, and because it's become automatic, the reflected images moving at a particular speed seem to be giving me reality, and I get involved. Hmm?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think I understand, what Raja Yoga is after going through last week. But you wrote something about Jnana Yoga and you circled it on the board last week. It was up in the top left corner, and you said Jnana Yoga is, and you took an arrow and went straight to Purusha.
Hmm?
Could you just explain that in relation to how it's not like Raja Yoga?
Raja Yoga says transcend each level through some special practices because it's not easy. Jnana Yoga says if you have realized that it's nothing but a film, why don't you simply turn around and go back immediately? So that means that my mind is absolutely convinced that in the direction of the object there's nothing to achieve, nothing to get. So you turn around. That is the idea of the ancient monk who turns completely away because knows that the world does not contain what one is looking for. So this idea is Jnana Yoga, and Raja Yoga says transcend it step by step because it's very hard to move out of this automatic functioning. Karma Yoga says you are, I tried to show you that day how each yoga takes the help of this inner organ and then how it tries to take you step by step inwards. One is through analysis, another is through karma, exhausting the momentum which is within our system, and bhakti is just keep an object in the place of the so-called millions of objects, pay full attention to that. That will also take you back to the ultimate source of light.
My mind is confused by our earlier discussions of being aware of this earth on which we live and the whole solar system and beyond, and being somewhat engaged so that we understand what's going on, and just focusing on my individuality seems so limited.
So the two are connected. When I want experiences, I need to have a map. The map cannot be the individual map because I would not know what is my position unless I take the whole. So the whole is necessary in the beginning. I need to understand that I am part of the ocean. Without, it's like I am part of the grid. Let's say I am now sitting in a particular spot, but that spot is connected with the whole universe. So I need to become aware to some extent that I am not isolated, I am not alone, and I am not the only one. It's necessary. Once I understand that, it isn't as if I am going to move out of my point immediately. I do travel. I travel to various other points in the grid. So the grid needs to be clear enough so that I know that it is not something so small that I go from here to the, let us say, to the next town, and that is all. That's not all. So to have that background means that since I take a lot from this grid, I need to give back also. So giving back can become part of Bhakti Yoga. It can become part, it's a very big part of Karma Yoga because that is where I function.
So it depends on our path.
Exactly, exactly. It is Jnana Yoga which says yes, the whole universe is there definitely, but if you analyze it, then you realize that it's either the projection of your own ego or your own little light. It's like my light makes an ambara and a penumbra. You know these words? Everyone knows?
No.
No, I don't.
Well.
Shadow and
In an eclipse, there is the, no, you don't have to go to the eclipse. You shine a torch. There will be a kind of stream of shadow, which is, or light, which is going straight, and then there is the there is a greater shadow also. So the focused one is ambara and the sides are penambara. So in order to get out of that I am the focus, I am not the focus, because there is this whole universe and it is lighted by a universal light, not by my light alone. So this little bit of zoom that I pay attention to needs to be widened so that I understand that I am taking a lot from the universe around, and to my own, according to my own capacity, I have to give back. If I don't give back, the balance is never right. There will be more debit than credit. So debit and credit has to be balanced so that I can move out without any residue, which is demanded of me. This demanded of me by the universe is connected with the theory of karma. That you have taken a lot, that's your karma, and you cannot say that I am scot-free just by thinking of myself. It's not true. So one needs the that understanding of physical space and time, then mental space of time. In mental space of time also, I take a lot from other people, relationships. There also it's the same thing, same law, that if I do not balance the sheet, I cannot go scot-free. So there also. And then finally, when I come to understanding that all this is not needed any longer, then I move back.
So while it is needed, we
Oh yeah, of
have
course.
the sense then.
But of course.
Is that why jnana yoga, less is required of them for the balance to be achieved, because they're not seeing the world as, that the world is not, they've moved into being more conscious, and so that they know that the world is not illusion, but a movie on a screen.
Jnana Yoga comes to a person who has really balanced his or her sheet. That there is no residue. As long as there is residue, you cannot move out. It's not possible. So we need to understand that also. That I cannot start practicing Jnana Yoga without this debit-credit balance being absolutely nil.
So what are some ways that imbalance would become apparent to any person of any yoga?
The basic sign would be that I am not satisfied with my practice. Whatever practice I am doing, it will not be something that flows. It will be obstructed, or I'll keep on shifting from one to the other, or I am not really satisfied with my path. I don't have complete faith in it. So there are many ways in which one can understand. Why is it that the mind, let us say you get a glimpse that yes, there is something beyond, but you don't stay there. Why is it that I can't stay there? Because there is a residue which brings me back. And so if I understand it consciously, I'll try to balance both the sides of taking and giving consciously, so that I can get back to my glimpse and work on that, rather than feel that that glimpse was wrong or not really, it wasn't showing me the next level. It does show the next level, but the residue is what we don't want to recognize. It's like a person who has taken a lot of money from the bank and then tries to run away. You can't run away.
And karma, would karma come from that if you
Of
attempt,
course, that
of
is
course.
karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
If I understood correctly, Swamiji in that part mentions that we have a fear of death because we remember other experiences of death. But he says also that when we reincarnate in another situation, we forget everything.
Yeah.
But that's, I feel, a contradiction. What do we choose, or what makes us choose to remember certain things and not others?
That's the depth of the impressions. If the impression has been very deep, you will recollect it.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not very deep,
You won't leave a
you'll
mark.
ignore it or forget it temporarily. But nothing else actually can be forgotten. This is because of the theory of cause and effect. If there is a cause, there will be an effect. So if you have experienced something, a photograph has been taken.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is not so clear, it's dim, it's vague, but it is definitely there. And if you repeat the same experience, it will become clear.
So what happens to a person if we're here to become aware of awareness? What happens to a person who can't think? Let's say they're, who's comatose.
No, we don't need to bother about that because that is again connected with the theory of karma.
Okay.
Why is it that in this lifetime the person does not get that kind of an opportunity to work out at the conscious level? So we cannot understand those things. And there is another side to it, that even suffering is paying back.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yes.
You can pay back through suffering also.
Okay, thank you.
Yes?
Please skip that page in the front about the microcosm and the macrocosm, and I was just reflecting on the whole subject, wondering if you could say a little bit more about the implications of the microcosm and the macrocosm being built on the same plan. And Swamiji says in that, it doesn't have a number on the bottom, but it must be page 16 or something.
Quotation.
Roman numerals, right in front of part 1. But I was trying to think about, well, okay, what do we learn in the macrocosm and what have I learned about the microcosm, and then how can I use both of those to make my understanding clearer of each other?
Well, if everything comes out of one cause, it will be governed by the same laws. Whether it is for the individual or don't take it for the individual, it's various levels. From, let us say, inanimate nature to slowly and slowly and slowly, the life principle and the various species and the human beings or angels and ghosts and whatever, they were all once upon a time just part of one something. So when it starts opening, it opens up according to certain basic laws. So those laws govern even the atom. It's only from that point of view that you will understand.
So, but from that point of view, there's no difference between the microcosm and macrocosm?
Absolutely not.
So we don't really need to
No,
learn
there is
this.
no difference.
Okay.
So they're not two.
Absolutely the same. I, in my psychophysical system, represent the macrocosm. That is why they discovered that you don't need to go to the world to understand yourself. You need to understand yourself because everything is here. All that is visible today as human, as a result of human intelligence, it's come out of the intelligence of man. So that means it contains everything. But we want to project it outside to understand it or to make ourselves comfortable. or to give some solutions to the problems. But then everything comes out of human thinking, human wisdom, or human, you can say, human mistakes also. Everything that we are surrounded by, as made by human hands or human intelligence, has come out of the same source. So that is what one needs to understand, that we are part of the ocean. It isn't as if I am an isolated event, though we are events. I don't know how to make it simpler. An event is something that takes place in space and time. It happens, remains, goes away. We are also like that, just like an atom. It is there, shines for a moment, goes away, changes. Or goes away is a wrong language. It changes, it gets transformed. We are also doing the same thing. So to see those laws functioning within us will make one separate that which is trying to understand from that which needs to be understood. I am trying to understand my own life. I am trying to understand my emotions, my ideas, my feelings, my sensations, though haphazardly. So if I understand the law, it will become easier to understand.
And so when we put this on the board, I was holding the fact that Purusha and Prakriti were different aspects of existence, but in fact, you have
They are
to put
one
them
and
back
the same.
together. Yeah.
Right now they are separate. If I look within myself, I am conscious as a being, and I also have a material body. So this physical and mental and something else, they are always there. So when I begin my sadhana or my understanding, I have to start it on this dual plane. I can't jump to the ultimate oneness. I have to discover it. So this dual idea, which is given in our philosophy and psychology, that this is the way you transcend duality, multiplicity to duality to oneness. It is to find out where I stand right now. Most of my daily life is concerned with multiplicity. Multiplicity, I know that I cannot handle. There's just too much of it. So I try to reach some level of duality, and duality can be the other and I, or it can be I and my own system. That is also duality. So I as the light represent Purusha, and I as the psychophysical system represent energy. So I am dealing with my own energy. So if I understand the law, I will be able to manage it without harming myself or without becoming helpless, hopeless. That's the idea.
Yeah, that's all.
Not that it will become very easy just because intellectually I understand, but at least it will not be like hitting hitting a wall, hitting my head against a wall and get blows. I won't be doing that. The blow will be softer, perhaps.
Pinprick, as Mother says.
Yeah. That is the whole idea of study. There's no other idea. I need to apply it to my life, see it within myself, and if it doesn't apply to me, I can ignore it. If it applies to me, I cannot ignore it. I must not ignore it. So that's the whole thing. Yes?
I was thinking about Ramana Maharshi in relation to that momentum idea, how he, for 15 years, stopped the momentum and just was still. And then he...
May I interrupt you?
Please do.
He stopped the physical momentum,
Yes.
not the mental or the what he was working with.
Right,
Because
working
the
out.
inquiry, who am I,
That's
is
right.
actually a momentum, a very focused momentum.
Yes, yes.
He stopped physical momentum.
Mhm.
So that is why you find various images of people sitting still. That is why we are asked to
Yes.
sit still.
Yes.
Because first of all I have to manage physical momentum, then slowly the inner, which is very subtle and very difficult to control. So he stopped the physical momentum, which is also something tremendous, because we tried to sit for 1 hour and
Right. Right, and then he said once that the key verse in the Bible, the whole Bible was summed up, be still and know that I am God. And so
Yeah.
the stillness comes before the knowing that I am God, although maybe they're the same.
oh yes,
They're the
because
same.
the energy that we function with, I am as a psychophysical system nothing but energy, play of energy.
Mhm.
And the light that seems to be shining on this play of energy is what I am dealing with. So till that becomes still, how can I know myself?
Yes.
Not possible.
Mhm.
I have a story. I think it's really cute to share. Somebody came, some ascetic came to Ramana Maharshi, and he said, "I don't understand why so many people come here because you're not doing anything." And his response was, "How do you know I'm not doing anything?
Yes, exactly.
Or you don't know, or like you don't know what I am doing."
Yeah, doing can be of not only hands and feet, can be deeper also.
Yeah, but then he was asked too, well, you're not doing anything for the world, you're just here.
That's it.
And he said, how do you know that I'm not doing something for the world?
That's it.
And he said that.
I think that
Many
was Paul
times.
Brunton.
Yes, Paul Brunton, but he said it in many
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
Because that is the time when the Second World War was
Yeah.
happening,
Oh, yeah.
and millions of people were getting killed.
That's right.
So that's why he said, how do you know I'm not? There is a theory in our mythology that there are 7 rishis
Yes.
who are forever meditating so that the world does not lose complete balance.
I think that's true, don't you? I mean, and I think Dostoevsky said that there were something like 20 of these, of these anonymous ones. And then didn't Swamiji say that, there were these 24 Buddhas that came before the Buddha that we know? They were calm, silent, and unknown. And I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that phrase.
So
And that they
we have to
prepared-
become sensitive to that. Supposing in a family there is one person
Mhm.
who is absolutely calm,
Yes.
won't that affect?
Yes.
Of course it will,
It's true.
definitely.
On page 71, this book, I would like I'll just read this out.
Yeah.
That which is self-luminous cannot decay. The luminosity of that which shines through a borrowed light comes and goes.
Mhm.
But that which is light itself, what can make it come and go, perish and decay? As an example, the sun is self-luminous, whereas the light of the moon is borrowed, and yet we are constantly fooled and say, how beautiful the moon is, look at its illuminated face. In the same way, we get the final answer given by the ancient Indian thinkers.
Mhm.
The real self-luminous principle is within ourselves. Then we reach the end of our search, and there is nowhere else to go. A self-luminous unit can neither decay nor die. Its light is not borrowed. I, as the Atman, am that light. The body and mind function with the light of the Atman. That is why they can be transcended. They decay and appear to be born and to die. The self-luminous principle, which is the very core of this universe and the individual, can neither decay nor can it be regenerated. A unit cannot break up or degenerate because it is not made up of parts. Now my question here was that here, as you say, then we reach the end of our search and there is nowhere else to go. But carrying, and then you said that the body and the mind function with the light of the Atman, that is why they can be transcended. They decay and appear to be born to die. So my question here is that if one has reached the end of one's search, there is still the momentum of prarabdha karma which will keep us in this cycle, or one can make that break.
Those are technical problems, whether there is some residue left or not. That can be solved only by taking up a course of sadhana and seeing if you are pulled back, yes, there is a residue. And if you cannot be pulled back, then there is nothing to hold you back. And we have to look at ourselves and ask, am I holding on to anything? Is anything holding on to me? There is this beautiful story that a man was holding on to a pillar and crying, please release me. So somebody said, well, why don't you let go?
The bear story.
So that other story is more beautiful. There is a guru and disciple sitting on the shore of whatever, and something black is flowing by. And the disciple says, Guruji, should I go and get this black blanket? Winter is coming and we'll need it. So he says, as you please. So he jumps into the river and then catches hold of it, and then he starts shouting, Guruji, save me. So he says, what's happened? Why don't you come out? Why don't you bring it? It won't let me come because it is a black bear.
The black bear?
Yeah.
Guruji says, you leave it, you let go.
It won't let me.
Won't let
So it's
Yeah.
like that. I can catch hold of something and start feeling it won't let me go. Both are possible.
Does it matter if our world is destroyed?
Pardon? Does it matter if the world is destroyed? Millions of worlds are getting destroyed right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destruction is not abnormal
It's not abnormal.
So what is our responsibility?
and not special either. Pardon?
What is our responsibility then in that, based
That-
upon our path?
Well, as long as I'm part of it, I definitely need to keep my psychophysical system safe because my sadhana is not over. And if I can help, I should help also.
Yes.
But then once I have reached a level of some level where I know that the whole thing is repeating itself ad infinitum, I can let go. Because after all, my individual light is not enough to keep the world alive.
So what is the proper attitude to have about towards suffering, if suffering can be useful to us in the karma, with the karma?
Oh yes, it's very, very useful, I think. But the way depends on what kind of suffering. Because there is physical suffering, emotional suffering, then intellectual suffering. What else is there?
There's world
Needless
suffering.
suffering.
Huh?
Needless suffering.
No, there is no such thing.
No? We don't create needless suffering for ourselves, it's all serving
Oh
a
no,
purpose.
there is nothing needless. It's a question of understanding what was the need.
Mm.
So, our attitude towards suffering, if it is physical suffering, well, one can practice some control. If it is emotional suffering, I believe that is a core of deep, vital energy. I need to take it out through understanding. Without understanding, I won't be able to, because that suffering comes because I moved towards something. It isn't as if emotional suffering comes just like that. I moved towards the cause and thought that it was coming from outside, but actually that is not true. So then I have to find out, why did I move in that direction? In expectation of what? I must have expected something tremendous to have emotional suffering. So that expectation is what I need to analyze and ask myself to explain to myself with the help of this ancient psychology, why do I move in that kind of a direction? And usually that direction is human relationships. Emotions are connected with human relationships. So I have to ask myself, why do I need human relationships? It's my need. It isn't as if the world is very keen to come within my circle. Not at all. Even if it is mutual, I need to ask, why did I have that kind of a need? Or why do I have that kind of a need? And then work it out. I take my own participation or my own contribution and see that definitely whatever comes out of it is, if not totally due to myself, definitely half of it is due to me. Take responsibility for that and learn from that.
To come into this existence, you said we had to create an opposition.
Yeah.
Are we as a whole creation the opposition of the Purusha, the God?
Well, yes, that idea is also there in our mythology as well as psychology. Kali and Shiva. It's a tremendous opposition. Shiva is taken as dead, as a dead body, apparently dead, and Kali is dancing on top of Shiva. That's the greatest opposition. We do it with ourselves. I am watching and giving momentum to the events. Otherwise, I won't even get involved. I give momentum to the events or experiences which are happening to me through time and space. I know it's a little difficult to understand the play of time and space, but that is the basic background to understand in these things. Stop the momentum of the nerve of the eye, and things will become steady. They don't move. So I give momentum. So if I give momentum, I am creating the opposition. I as the experiencer and my experience. So this experience becoming real is just because my attention, maybe it is something like quantum physics, quanta. I give it little by little. If you notice these neon lights, how they move, and they give you an illusion of continuity. My eye is doing that all the time. It's moving from this thing to another, but subconsciously, so I am not really conscious of it. But that is what we are doing. Through all the sense organs, I am doing that. And maybe one day they will discover that that is how the energy in my system is lighting up little by little in the flow of this quantum physics or whatever you like to call it. But take your attention and see how it comes and goes. Try and listen to a watch. Keep a watch. Then try and see what happens. In between it vanishes, again it comes up, again it vanishes, again it comes up. So I'm doing the same thing. I give momentum. So take that responsibility that I am giving momentum to the events that are happening. They cannot happen if I don't give momentum. Even if I realize that the world is real, let it be, makes no difference. But the momentum is given by me through attention. So hold that back. If I wish to have some control, I can hold it back, practice the method of holding it back, it will not be the same thing at all.
Mhm.
That's why they have Yamunijama. That's the meaning of Yamunijama. Practice all. Yes. Hold back your momentum because you are giving it. What do we do?
What was the word you used?
Yama.
Oh,
Yeah, those rules and regulations of practicing. Hold back your attention. Do not give momentum to the events which actually are rising automatically.
Yesterday you spoke about the yogas, and it was interesting that you mentioned it, that it's not a chronological, but it's like a mental situation.
Yes.
Can you explain a bit more about that? That happens in the process of everything?
In cultures, because yugas are connected with races, cultures, civilizations. It's not just one
It's
person.
more global.
More global, or now it has become global, but it can be a tribe, it can be a clan, it can be a family, and or it can be the individual also. Early in the morning, if you are alert, that is Satya Yuga. No?
Nice thought.
And then you become completely dull. That's another yuga. And completely confused. Kali Yuga. So these are concepts which were given universal reference in our psychology and mythology, that the same thing is happening at the universal level, at the individual level. So take the help of these concepts and then look at your own life and try to stop this automatic spectrum going on in a cyclic movement, and try and stop. The momentum can be stopped only by me because it's connected with my attention.
Seems like that what we've been talking about also on page 75, at the bottom. At this stage, we cannot question why this journey called evolution-involution starts, because that answer is only given in Advaita philosophy and its concept of Maya, that this is not actually happening. The images conjured by the mind are passing in front of the Atman. Through ignorance, the mind thinks it is actually undergoing the changes. And then the practice, what we do not take our stand on the permanent base of the Atman and watch the phenomena. Instead, we become one with the phenomena and take it all to be absolutely real.
Just as watching a film,
Yeah.
I can start crying because
Yes.
the
Right.
heroine is crying.
You know,
Identification.
last week, well, we happened to see this old, a segment of an old film, and it was very slow, you know, compared to films today. It was, and it's, you find it kind of, well, either boring because it's slow and our attention, or it also was kind of fascinating because it was so much slower. So I don't know what to, it's just a comment, I don't have a question, but it was kind of an interesting
because
experience.
our minds have started functioning according to a different speed.
Yes,
That's why.
and we don't know if that's, well, good or bad doesn't enter in, it's just the way it is.
Good and bad can enter because we are doing it automatically. I need to do
Yeah.
it consciously. I should be able to slow
Yes,
the movement of the mind,
yes,
and if I need to speed it up, I should be able to do that.
That's,
If
yeah.
I can't do that, that
Yeah.
means it's happening automatically.
Yes,
And being mechanical is not the purpose of human life.
right, right.
From that point of view, it is bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, it seems things are going so fast now
Yeah.
in this country, I don't know, perhaps in India too, and there seems to be hardly any time for thought
Mm-hmm.
or courtesy or thinking of the other person, and just driving
Oh,
around
yeah.
is really quite a chore, because people, you know, they go so fast and I drive slowly, so they drive me off the road and I pull over. But I'm just wondering why, you know, I think, you know, everything's been speeding up since the 19th century. It just goes faster, faster.
Mhm.
And I just wonder what, you know, I was talking to a friend, and he said it's almost like we're trying to outrace death, you know, to get as much packed in to this temporal world as we can. But I'm just wondering if you have any thought about why things are going so fast today. I mean, do you notice it too?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
It's,
I would connect it with there were promises made to the human mind that there is no hurry.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will go to paradise, or you will,
Ah,
you can wait.
Mm-hmm.
And India had that you will be reborn.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
Today
Take it easy.
nobody believes in those things.
Oh, really?
Really?
Really? Huh.
So we need to finish all experiences in this lifetime, and therefore the speed is increasing.
uh-huh.
Mm.
But it's automatic. It isn't as if we are doing
Yeah.
it consciously.
There's not much inner
No.
life now.
But there is some power which is driving us.
Yes,
So that power, you can call her Kali.
yeah.
Mm.
It is a power, it is a drive which we don't understand. And because we don't understand and don't relate to it, therefore it seems alien. But actually nothing that is happening today is alien. We are as much responsible for the speed as anything else. After all, Kali is not sitting outside somewhere.
Yeah.
Telling us what to
It's a part of our own evolution.
Mm.
So, and in that, if I want to slow down mentally so that I can deal with the speed, I need to take Sri Ramakrishna into account,
Yes.
how he slowed down at one level so that he could deal with the most modern events that were happening in his
Mm.
time. We need to do the same thing.
What do you mean by he slowed down at one level? Can you?
Going into samadhi means stopping the
Yes.
momentum
Oh.
completely.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
We are being asked to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Stop the momentum
Mm-hmm.
mentally so that you can deal with it.
Yeah.
When's that class?
Pardon?
When's that class?
That was the last retreat.
Sorry, Wendy,
I
you
missed
missed it.
it, okay.
This inner movement and outer movements, that's why it's necessary to understand how the mind functions
Mm-hmm.
and what are the methods of slowing the inner momentum so that
Yes.
the outer, which is universal, is not within my control. I can't do it. So I need to be able to adjust to these two movements. One so-called physical, even mental, because the events that are taking place today are also gathering speed, tremendous speed.
Mm-hmm.
And link it up with the world wars, you will understand.
True.
If you don't link up these global events as the causes, it's very difficult to understand what is happening today.
Yeah.
But it is strange because all technology promised us that we would have more free time.
All technology came out of the wars
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in search of
Mm-hmm.
Destruction.
weapons.
Yes, victory.
See, again the same thing. They never promised us a comfort. They were invented because the wars had to be fought and won or lost, and everything has come out of that.
And that means the intention with which it was created is what is conditioning us.
Destructive, it was destructive.
Yeah.
And they were great
To
psychics.
to destroy the other, that was the motive.
Uh-huh.
So we think the motive has changed. How can it change?
That was the original.
That was the original impulse.
So all the technology has that in the background.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I need to take it into consideration. What about nuclear energy? Where did it come from? So that it could destroy. So either one, this is the total grid I need to understand. So that I have a way of making my own mind calm, that this is the reason. Then the mind will not become so tense and so desolate that what I wanted was comfort and what is coming out of it is something else. So then I'll understand. And I can change the usage also for myself or for a little circle within which I function. But then I'll have to use my own intelligence. But without understanding the causes, how we are going to understand anything, I don't know. But most of us ignore the causes. Most of us today feel, oh, history, who cares about history? We are so modern that we don't need history.
So, Mataji, this is the cause becomes the effect becomes the cause.
Yes,
So you
please.
take it the next step. and
Exactly.
The
Yeah, out of
GAD technology is now going to be the cause of the next effect, which is the
Exactly,
same.
which is again
Next
distraction.
destruction. It's destroying us,
Oh yeah, it's destroying the mental level.
the
And
mental.
so when you say we can change our own relationship to that,
Yeah.
with conscious,
Use it
Effort.
only as much as you need.
and the effort is to realize that this is a cause and effect, these are linked together.
Yeah.
And so that as I use it, I have to consciously change that effect.
Oh yes.
That's good. That's good.
Consciously change that energy
The energy, yeah.
into the energy for evolution. Personal or collective, whatever.
And that's when the language starts changing.
Yes.
When you talk about the language
Oh yeah.
in
The way we
the cause
talk
and
to
effect
ourselves,
circle, or once
the way we
that's broken
communicate with
consciously.
ourselves, what do we feel about ourselves, these are very important.
So this sort of links to my question on page 94. You have a statement, it is a huge challenge to remain conscious in our daily activity, that each thought and action has a consequence, and therefore we need to be ever alert and not function as habit or instinct-driven machines.
Yeah.
So my question was, do you have any suggestions for us?
For what?
To remain
Suggestion
conscious- To remain conscious.
To
in our
remain
daily
conscious.
activity.
One is the regular practice. Do it consciously, do it with some amount of motivation, find motivation, because it's very necessary that the practice becomes real enough. And then divide your mind into the observer and the observed, so that while you are giving momentum to events, at the same time to realize why you are doing it and watch your reactions. These are the ways.
So that separation is really the
Yeah.
key to becoming more conscious.
And watch out for the atmospheres of the mind. Just like weather, the mind is also creating atmospheres. So the moment you feel it's going to be thunder, or a typhoon.
Get inside.
Get on.
Run inside.
Yeah. Create a cellar. And do not disregard anything that the mind says. The mind many times makes you aware that it is about to have a problem, and we may try to ignore it. So don't ignore it. Ask yourself, what is bothering you? You can create a relationship with the mind, which is what the Bhagavad Gita says. Create a relationship as a friend with the mind and ask it gently or with some amount of respect. What is bothering you? Tell me. What can I do? Because this separation is real. It isn't as if it's fiction. I as the light and the mind as the gadget, it makes me aware. Nowadays there are gadgets which tell you, what do they tell you?
How many steps you walked in here.
Yeah. Don't they talk to you?
Water, yes.
Yeah. It's the same thing. The mind will make you aware that some adjustment needs to be done. So listen to it. Do not ignore it. Do something about it. The mind becoming a friend. The Bhagavad Gita says, remember that your mind alone is your friend and the mind alone is your enemy.